This is one of the most unusual, I believe, one of the most collectible, certainly for a Japanese car, ever. It's called the Mazda Cosmo. It's a 1970 model. The Cosmo is revolutionary because it had a Wankel engine. This is the first production sports car to have a two-rotor Wankel engine. Now, if you're not familiar with what a Wankel engine is, you know how pistons go up and down in a cylinder? The way a Wankel works is, it's a rotary principle. You see, your combustion chamber is right here. And as this goes around, bang, it fires and spins and spins, so everything rotates in the same direction. Where a piston engine goes up and down causing vibration, this spins in a circular motion, so it runs incredibly smooth. That was the big deal about the Wankel. The Wankel was also the first new engine of the 20th century. Every other engine, steam, electric, internal combustion, piston, that had all been developed in the 1800s. This is the first new engine. And Mazda had, they had great ideas for this. Mercedes-Benz, General Motors, they all bought Wankel patents. Nobody got them to run properly because you see where it goes around, it didn't quite seal. Only the Japanese could come up with a seal that worked. And even that was tenuous because the gas mileage was not the same as an internal combustion engine. You know, as I said many times, for new technology to succeed, it can't be equal to old technology. It's got to be better. And the Wankel was smoother, but the downfalls were gas mileage was not as good and not quite as much torque as a piston engine. But let's get back to this. This car, you'll notice, has right-hand drive. It was only sold in Japan because they figured it'd be a hard sell in America. Think about this. The war had only been over for really 25 years or so. There's still a lot of feeling that Japanese products, not like today, at the time were not up to the standards of the American automobiles. It had an engine nobody had ever heard of. And it had a weird amalgamation of Italian and American styling. The front end looks a little Alfa Romeo. The rear end looks like a Thunderbird. This is an expensive car. This would have cost you as much as a Corvette or an XKE. Plus, like I said, it came from Japan, which at the time was famous for putting a little umbrella in drinks. They didn't think of them as we do now, the powerhouse of Toyota and Nissan and all these other manufacturers. So this was sold primarily to the wealthy Japanese businessman. This car was interesting because I got it from a U-2 pilot who bought it new in Japan. In fact, you can see the sticker right there in the window. That's pretty impressive. The engine, the car rather, is primarily stock. I've done a few modifications. I have the original engine sitting on the shelf, and I put a little later Wankel engine in it with a nice big Weber carburetor on it. So instead of 110 horsepower, it's making about 225. It was hard to sell the Americans on a high-end Japanese car. Plus, they didn't know how to appeal to the American market. Look at that poster up there. Look, down on the ground, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's supercar. I mean, what is that? I mean, the ads had Japanese girl in go-go boots with Japanese guys with Beatle haircuts playing the guitars. I mean, they were trying to put all they knew about Western culture into one picture, and it's really kind of funny. But that's why I like this period. There's a sense of innocence, but it's also a time of innovation, and it was a fun time to see the Japanese starting to kind of get their sea legs and learn how to build cars properly.